Chloe adjusted her gym bag on her shoulder as she stepped through the airlock of Station Kepler 442b's recreation facility. The hiss of pressurization always reminded her how far from Earth she'd traveled. 16 light years, to be exact. The station's gymnasium was a converted cargo bay, now filled with equipment that catered to dozens of species from across the galactic community. She'd been warned about the Vryn. They were apex predators from a high-gravity world, standing nearly 8 feet tall with digitigrade legs and retractable claws. Their fur ranged from silver to charcoal, and their eyes, those unsettling amber eyes, tracked movement with predatory precision. The orientation briefing had been clear. Vryn were curious about humans, but their curiosity often felt like being sized up for a hunt. 3 young Vryn, barely past adolescence by their species standards, lounged near the free weights when Chloe entered. Their ears swiveled toward her immediately. One of them, his fur a mottled gray, nudged his companion and chittered something in their native tongue. Chloe recognized the body language: interest, assessment, challenge. She'd dealt with worse in the Marine Corps. Ignoring them, Chloe made her way to the squat rack. She loaded the bar with plates, 4 on each side, 315 pounds total. Around her, various aliens paused their workouts. A Thessian engineer with 4 arms stopped mid-curl. A gelatinous quarrel literally quivered in its containment suit. The Vryn approached. They moved with liquid grace, fanning out to form a loose semicircle around her station. The gray one, clearly the leader, tilted his head, studying the loaded bar with what might have been amusement. "Human, Chloe," he said in accented standard, his translator implant rendering the words slightly mechanical. "This weight. You make error in calculation, yes? Your species' baseline strength is..." He glanced at his wrist display. 42% below Vryn juvenile. Chloe stepped under the bar, positioning it across her traps. "No error." "You will injure yourself," another chimed in, this one with rust-colored fur. "Humans are fragile. Death World classification is administrative mistake, we think." She didn't respond. Instead, she unracked the weight, took 2 steps back, and descended into a deep squat. Her breathing stayed controlled, in through the nose, out through the mouth. The weight that would have been trivial on Earth's 1G pressed down with authority in the station's 0.8G environment, but her legs drove upward smoothly. 1 rep, 2, 3. The Vryn fell silent. By the 5th rep, other gym-goers had stopped their workouts entirely. A crowd was forming: Thessians, quarrels, even a massive Korthax, who normally intimidated everyone simply by existing. Chloe completed her 10th rep and racked the weight with a controlled clang. "Death World," she said, meeting the gray Vryn's eyes, "isn't a mistake." The young predator's ears flattened against his skull, a sign of confusion, possibly respect. "But your species evolved persistence hunting, endurance over strength. The profiles say..." "The profiles," Chloe interrupted, moving to load the bench press, "were written by bureaucrats who've never met a human who lifts." She added plates methodically. "We're not just endurance, we're adaptation." The rust-furred Vryn stepped closer, his nostrils flaring. "Your heartbeat barely elevated. You are not straining." "Not yet." She lay back on the bench. 225 pounds hovered above her chest. The gray Vryn moved instinctively to spot her, a gesture that surprised Chloe. Perhaps there was more to these cubs than posturing. "We will assist," the 3rd Vryn announced, a female with almost black fur. "To prevent injury." Chloe smirked. "Sure. Don't touch the bar unless I ask." She pressed through 8 reps, each one smooth and controlled. The Vryn watched with increasing fascination, their predatory stillness replaced by genuine curiosity. When she finished, the female spoke in her own language, something that made her companion's ears perk up. "She asks," the gray one translated, "about your training regimen and your planet's gravity." "Earth is 1G, Chloe said, sitting up. "But I grew up in Colorado. High altitude, thin air. Joined the Marines at 18. They teach you that strength isn't just physical, it's mental. It's showing up every day and doing the work, even when everything hurts." The rust-furred Vrin's tail swished thoughtfully. "Our people, we train for dominance, for pack hierarchy. This is different." "This," Chloe said, moving to the deadlift platform, "is discipline." She loaded 400 pounds onto the bar. The gym had gone completely quiet. Even the station's ambient hum seemed muted by anticipation. The Vrin stood at attention. Their body language shifted from predatory to protective. Chloe gripped the bar, set her stance, and pulled. The weight rose smoothly, her back locked tight, hips driving forward. At the top, she held it for a moment, not showing off, just proving a point, before lowering it with control. The gray Vrin made a sound like a purr mixed with a growl. "Impossible. Your leverage, your skeletal structure, the mathematics don't support." "Humans don't care what mathematics support," said a voice from the crowd. Ryan, another human contractor, pushed through the gathering. He was smaller than Chloe, wiry where she was powerful, but his grin was infectious. "We do it anyway. That's kind of our thing." He fist-bumped Chloe, then looked at the Vrin with mock seriousness. "You guys didn't know. Humans are crazy. We climb mountains because they're there. We dive into oceans that want to kill us. We strapped ourselves to rockets and shot ourselves at the moon before we figured out if we could even survive it." The female Vrin's ears perked forward. "This is truth?" "Absolute truth," Ryan confirmed. "Chloe here? She's actually being conservative. There are humans who lift twice this weight, who run 100 miles through deserts, who swim across channels between continents." The rust-furred Vrin looked at Chloe with something approaching awe. "Why?" Chloe wiped sweat from her forehead with her towel. "Because we can. Because someone said we couldn't. Because it makes us better than we were yesterday." She looked at each of the young Vrin in turn. "Your people are apex predators. Mine? We're apex improvers." The gray Vrin straightened to his full height, then performed what Chloe recognized as a gesture of respect, claws retracted, head slightly bowed. "We came to observe weakness. We found strength we did not understand." He paused. "May we train with you? Learn this discipline?" Chloe smiled. "Rack's open, but fair warning. I don't go easy on spotters." The three Vrin took positions around her equipment, their predatory instincts channeled into something new: cooperation. As Chloe loaded the bar for another set, she caught Ryan's eye. He was grinning. "What?" she asked. "Nothing," he said. "Just humanity, fuck yeah." She laughed, a sound that echoed through the converted cargo bay, mixing with the chittering of interested Vrin, the curious humming of quarrels, and the appreciative rumble of the Korthax. The predator cubs had followed her into the gym looking for prey. They left as students. And Chloe? She left with 3 spotters she didn't request, but realized she'd earned.